In recent years, the employee's sense of belonging to the company has decreased more and more. According to a recent study by the consulting firm Gartner, only 25% of employees feel a strong sense of belonging to their own company. Generally speaking, a distinction can be made between two different areas of belonging. On the one hand, a clear vision and orientation of the company is important. If people know where the journey is going and the direction is right for them, then they feel a sense of belonging. Simply put, I know what the culture and strategy of my company is, and I also believe it is the right one. The second area would be connectedness to the company. This relates to the fact that the culture of the company where I work is important to me and that I also identify with it. So if we want to create a high sense of belonging, on the one hand we have to create clarity about the direction and the goals, but also a culture in which employees feel comfortable and with which they identify. Now, if we look at the numbers in the study, and only 25% feel a strong sense of belonging, you could quickly link that number to the fact that yes, people work at home, and because they don't see each other as much anymore, they don't feel as strongly connected. Gartner, of course, looked into this with an exciting result. Companies that allow radical flexibility in terms of where, when and how they worked received the highest rates with up to 53% high connectedness. In turn, companies that allowed little to no flexibility had only 18% employees with a high sense of belonging. So the more trust we give our employees when it comes to flexibility, the more connected they feel to the company. This has other much needed side effects. Employees with high connectedness to the company have up to 30% higher performance and are 36% more likely to stay within the company. In the past, companies often tried to build an emotional connection through beautiful offices, great decor and frequent interaction with employees to make people feel at home where they work. They believed this would create a certain connectedness with their employees. That didn't really work before the pandemic, and it continues to have no effect today in the hybrid setup. Few who have a nice workspace at home go into the office because it's so modern or it has coffee. Having made this point though, what are ways to create connectedness with your coworkers? Well, here I have 3 tips for you. First, emotional closeness. It's not about physical proximity, that is, being in the same place. Your employees need to feel that you are there for them, that you are available and that they can come to you if they have problems. This will give them the feeling that they are important to you. They feel seen. Make sure you always know what's going on with your employees. In a hybrid work environment, it's easy to overlook when conflicts between employees begin to build up. Be close to your people and be there for them. This doesn't always have to be a video call. You can just make a phone call and ask how they are and if they need anything from you. Availability doesn't mean around the clock though. Define with your team when and how you will be available to each other. Second, microcultures. Alignment is important. Company values are important. A well-communicated strategy is important. But these are mostly things that come along on a very high level and are not always easy for your team to grasp and implement. That's why it makes sense to define yourself as a team. Consider together how you interact with each other, but also what contribution you can make to the corporate strategy and how you live the corporate values, or even whether you complement and prioritize them for yourself. A microculture in a team or division has nothing to do with silos or separation. Quite the opposite, actually. The goal is to ask yourself what identity and integrity you have as a team and how you can contribute to the overall success of the company. This includes working successfully with other teams and departments. A sense of belonging to the company always starts with a strong connectedness to one's team or department. And third, spread culture through work and not through the office. The new office with modern furniture, the picture with the company values with 200 signatures on it, the company logo above the main entrance. When we are in the office, our company is always present. At home, things look a little different. That immediately raises the question, how do I actually perceive my company when I'm sitting in front of the screen at home? My physical environment doesn't have much to do with the company, and whether I'm sitting there with a laptop from one company or another makes no difference, does it? We have to think about how our employees experience our company at home. On the one hand, this can be possible through haptic objects, but also through individual work processes. A virtual background with office space, logos or slogans is a start. But small gifts to employees can also be supportive. One participant recently told me very proudly about a birthday gift she received from her company years ago. She received a beach towel with a slogan on it, which she still uses when she goes on vacation. After all, there are no better brand ambassadors than our employees, right? So think about how your company is perceived by people at home, and above all, how it becomes more visible. Processes should always reflect the company's value. For example, if your company claims to be innovative, your employees should not be troubled by slow and bureaucratic work processes. It's also important that our employees continue to see their own impact. In the office, this often happens through informal hallway conversations and social interactions with each other. There, you often automatically got feedback when you had changed something for the better. Today, we have to proactively convey this appreciation and the feeling that we have contributed something. Use the workbook and define at least one measure that you would like to try out in the team next week to strengthen connectedness.